I joined Twitter because of Sarkcess. I didn't join because I saw the app as a fancy platform.
Not every journey starts with a grand plan. Sometimes it's just a spark.
You said on the timeline sometime that your whole digital marketing journey started because of the fact that you are a Sarkcess fan.
It's fact. I mean, Sark didn't teach me digital marketing, but it was the whole journey,
In a world full of noise, he chose strategy. Behind the scenes, he's helping brands grow.
Back then was difficult. Now it's easy. Now if you are able to do one or two things and you chase some things, chances are that the connections will recognize you.
From building influence to mastering digital marketing, this is a journey of clarity, consistency, and calculated moves.
Okay, so the remarkable bit of digital marketing is in a lot of senses. So what I can say to the young digital marketer, me too, I'm also very young in digital marketing. I don't know even 20% of digital marketing. The space is very huge. You can't know everything today. You can't know everything in 5 years. You will know it as time goes on.
On this episode of Dreams and Feelings, we sit down with Don Sarkcess.
You actually know how to like market yourself for brands too.
I've been strategic all my life. That's the truth.
Talk about growth, passion, and how to own your space in a digital
Trust me, when you know your stuff, it will be easier when you approach somebody and say, well, I can help you with this, than you don't know anything. You say, oh, I've seen this person do it and I can do it too.
How much do you earn in a year? Like
From where?
From digital marketing. Hello and welcome to another episode of Dreams and Feelings podcast. Today we are joined by someone who is not just active online, but also move with purpose in the digital space. He is well known for his affiliation to Sarkcess and Sark Nation. He's a digital marketer, a brand ambassador, and a very active voice on Twitter. In this episode, we will talk about his journey, how digital marketing really works, the pressure that comes with visibility, and what to do to actually make something for yourself online, to make a good name, to create something real online. Let's welcome the most troublesome Sarkcess fan, Don Sarkcess.
I've removed that name from
Don, welcome to Dreams and Feelings.
Thank you very much, bro.
Thank you for coming.
I appreciate.
I want to know where from the most troublesome Sarkcess fan. Why do you think you are the most troublesome Sarkcess fan?
It's actually not something I call myself, but it's Sark. So I think MTN Pulse was doing one event like that, and they partnered with Sark, and I managed this fan page for him on social media, Sark Native Shit. So I was promoting it heavily aside my personal page, and he responded to the page and said, I got you. You know I got you, right? Because MTN said they were going to do some giveaways. So me, I didn't know he was going to do anything on stage for my sake. And when they were giving out some goodie bags, that's how they call it, and they were mentioning people's names there, and he was like, he spoke to them, so he was like, can I be biased and give this back to one of the troublesome Sark fans that I know online?
So me, I was troublesome Sark fan.
So that day, I was actually waiting for his performance to be done, so that I cut. I was screen recording, so that I cut the stream and posted online. I always post his performances on social media for like his fans to engage. Okay. And that part, when he started that part, I just had a feeling that it was me that he was going to mention, because he doesn't see anybody as troublesome as me. So he was like troublesome Don Sarkcess, and I was like, oh, okay.
So that's why you have
troublesome. So from there, I've forgotten to remove it. I checked when I put it there was like 2021 or so.
That's a long time.
Yeah. That's like 4 years ago.
But before we get into it, I didn't even ask you, how are you feeling today?
Today, I'm tired because I'm tired. I need more rest, but I'm okay. Aside that, I feel good about a lot of things. I'm just tired physically, nothing else. Yeah.
Okay. I want us to start with your journey.
Okay.
Your name is Don Sarkcess. That's what we know. That's what I know. Yeah. I know you as Don Sarkcess.
Yeah.
So I want you to start from where everything started. Like, who is Don Sarkcess?
Okay. So Don Sarkcess is basically Emmanuel. Okay. I'm called Emmanuel by birth, and on my certificate is Emmanuel. And I went to school. I went to tertiary in Koforidua, All Nations University College. I have my first degree in accounting. Yeah. So I'm an accountant. I just not practiced it yet. When I did my service, I don't want to give timelines because some of you start calculating and know my age.
Yeah.
When I did my service at Old Trafalgar. It's a hospital, and I was like an account clerk or something there. I was using softwares. They have this software that they use to tally their payments and all of that, their costings and stuff. So that was the only year I practiced accounting. After that, all my experience has been whatever you are seeing today. So yeah, that's basically me. Nothing too much, nothing scary, nothing haywire like that. Yeah.
Growing up, what was the plan that you have? Like, this is my plan.
Okay, so growing up, I always wanted to be a pilot. I just revisited one of my grandfathers who is still alive. Most of them have expired. That's a hospital term for dead. We don't say dead, but they've expired. I went to him and I wanted to affirm a promise I made him because I told him that I was going to be a pilot and drive him in an airplane. But unfortunately, he said, "But for saying I'm okay." That's a meme on social media. I like when you said it. It's funny for me. So
unfortunately, I said that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't turn out to become a pilot. I ended up becoming an accountant / digital marketer. I'm not letting go of the accounting because I'll pursue it as time goes on. And I wanted to affirm him that, Granddad, even though I wasn't able to be a pilot, I'll have money enough to buy a plane and fly you in. But it turns out he doesn't remember. So when I was growing up, I always wanted to be a pilot, but it didn't turn out like that. So, and that's like childhood dreams, right?
Yeah.
You don't understand the realities of life. You don't know what your choices are going to. You don't know what life will throw at you for you to make out of that. So that was what I was thinking about when I was growing up. Midway, when I was in like high school, university, the plan tweaked a little bit because I had to go and do business. I wanted to do science. I loved mathematics. I liked numbers, like physics, those chemical stuff. But I was very good with numbers too. And when you're growing up, they'll be like, since you're good with maths, you need to do business.
Yeah.
And I did business. Turns out I wasn't bad there too because I was doing really good. I went to Keta Senior High School, Keta School. And when I was done, I went to university. I pursued accounting as a main course. So the plan was to be a pilot. Then I grew up and I was like, okay, then let me get into business accounting. And that's how far it got me till tertiary. And it faded a little after service. And I found myself on the social media platforms. And I was very active on Facebook at some point before. And I moved from Facebook to Twitter.
You joined Twitter in 2013.
Yes.
That's a long time.
I joined Twitter because of Sarkcess. I didn't join because I saw the app as a fancy platform. I was on Facebook actively posting his stuff and stuff like that. But I realized you can't have an engagement with him. Mm-hmm. He just posts and leaves. He doesn't come to comment, reply anybody's comment. I wanted to have that vibe with him. So he normally posts on Twitter. You come and quote people. You come and like. You come and retweet. I was like, nah, that's where I need to be. And Facebook, no. It was more pictures and videos, but Twitter and text. Me, I like to express myself. Yeah. I like to type stuff. My point of view, I like to do that. So that merged with my preference, and I started being active on Twitter, and I learned a lot. Like I met a lot of people. I met people who were able to help me my journey today. Whatever you're seeing me do, it's not because I thought about it and dreamt and pursued it. I know people who saw that in me and they just guided me. They were like, I think you are good at this. You need to do this. You need to do that. So that's how far I've come.
So, you've been in the digital marketing space for quite some time.
Yeah.
Would you say digital marketing is a skill that has actually shaped you, or that has like given you some financial benefits and then some exposure when it comes to some certain things? Yeah.
So it didn't start off as digital marketing. Mm-hmm. I started off as like an active social media person. Mm-hmm. Then I started getting followers. I remember, God forgive me, I was comparing myself to Jesus when he fed 5,000 people because I hit 5,000 followers.
That's wild.
That's wild. That's one of the stupid. I don't know how long that has been, but I'll go look for it and see whether if it's still in one of my archives. But when I started getting followers, I was building my followership, engaging people, meeting people, throwing my opinions out there, like challenging arguments, promoting. Then that was giving me some level of followers, both on the space and in the Sarkcess circle as well. And one thing about Sarkcess, when he realizes that you are good at doing something, he will want to recognize you for it. So what he did was the fan bases, like Sark Nation, your branch is better to say 10 and I say 8. I'm telling you, solid teams. We have Sarkaholics, we have Sark Nation, we have Team Sark, we have Sark Natives, we have Successful Vision, we have Sark Daily, we have Team Success, we have Sark Royal. Like Dawson.
Sark Nation is like the biggest fan base.
Yeah.
I'm a Sark native too.
Yeah. No, Sark Nation is it started from Team Sark
Team Sark.
Then Sark Nation became the household name.
Oh, okay.
So Sark Nation engulfs everybody. Then underneath we have the other people. So me, I'm part of Sark Natives. So we started doing this fan base thing for him. We organized events. My first ever event I organized was in, I think, 2016. It was a voting year. Okay. We did a peace fan games between fan bases. We sent letters to Shatter Movement, Beam Nation, Hybrid Family, ELs, like a lot of fan bases just to play and vibe and protest against like war during voting. So it was Sark Natives for Peace, and that was one of my major events back then. And Sark came.
You planned that event?
I planned. I was the organizer of the event. I planned the event. We started promoting it, and Sark picked it up, and he was going to come and a lot of things. And he came. He came to even now. We didn't win. We, the hosts, we didn't win. So I think
that's normal.
It was High Grade Family that won. He gave it to them and all of that. So a lot happened within that space of me starting off as somebody who is very unknown on the app, getting followers. Then people started I started approaching people too, because I can look at somebody on social media and be like, you are not doing this right. Like, this is your brand. You are this kind of person. I feel you should be more engaging on this platform. I feel you should be posting this. I feel this will go well. Then I realized that it wasn't just something it comes to me naturally, but it's something probably I've learned over the years and I didn't realize it. Yeah. Then I started approaching people that, look, I can handle your social media platforms for you. You have how many followers now? 1,000. Like in the next 3 months, I promise we'll reach about 5,000. It will not reach that 3 months. We'll get 5,000, 10,000. So I started managing a lot of people's accounts, brands, companies, and I started off like a basic social media manager. Like, just create content, you manage it, you post, you comment, you reply comments, a lot of things. I was doing all of that. Then I realized that it was just a very small sector of what I know now, which is digital marketing, because there's a difference between social media management and a digital marketer. And I picked on other stuff too like that on the way, because now I can move to any company and say, I help this brand move from this point to this point. Like, okay, we need somebody like that. You come, then the system that is created in the organization starts directing you. Because you find yourself in a space where it's not just about posting anymore. It's not just about posting tweets or posting pictures anymore. Now you have a plan. Like Mondays, you are posting this. Tuesdays, you are posting that. Wednesdays, maybe you are not posting. Thursday, you are creating this kind of content. Friday, you are supposed to go and do a report. Like, Nyama Bebre, when the week is done, they will ask you, okay, do you have a budget for digital marketing? Then that means you have to go and research. Be like, okay, I want us to spend $200.
Since we've already entered digital marketing, I want you to explain digital marketing in a way that's relatable to our audience, whoever is watching us. Because right now, a lot of people are selling online. And then it's like, we feel like selling online means you're a digital marketer. But maybe that's not how it should be.
Not necessarily.
Yes. So I want you to explain or define digital marketing in a way that's very relatable to everybody that's watching us.
So digital marketing in a sense is leveraging on digital platforms to sell anything. So it's not just, it doesn't only stay on social media. Websites too are part.
I know there are search engine optimization.
Optimizations, yes.
There's
All those
email
things
marketing,
all those things are
social
digital
media, and
all those things are a part of digital marketing. So if you are a digital marketer, that means you understand social media management, you understand SEO, you understand email marketing, you understand website analytics and all of that. So if you are able to like have a skill among all these ones, that is when you can call yourself a digital marketer. So until then, if you are just posting stuff on social media, sorry, but you are just a social media manager.
Okay.
Do you understand? So digital marketing in its sense, you take some courses, you research online and a lot of things. You have to watch what people are doing in the industry, digital marketing industry, for you to pick up some stuff that you don't know that exists. So that's basically digital. A digital marketer is somebody who understands all these branches of digital marketing, SEO, social media management. And mostly there are people who are not really popular. Like me, I'm just, let's say, fortunate enough to start off from a point where I became sort of known and had influence. Then I went into digital marketing.
Yeah.
So aside me being a digital marketer, I can use my personal influence to influence some brands. There are some brands that I partnered with or I was working for. They didn't pay me as an influencer, but because I'm the one who is supposed to make sure that we hit our target following, we reach our audiences, I have to use my my influence to promote the page. So that is in line with both digital marketing and social media management.
So let's get back into your journey.
Sure.
Digital marketer.
Yeah, so that's I don't know where I left off, but from that Sarkcess era, then I started moving to companies. It was easy.
Were you moving to the companies or like the companies were reaching out to you?
Most were reaching out based on people that I worked with. Someone like Nana Banamwa. She's somebody who put me on at GH1 TV. I used to work at GH1 TV as their community, one of their community managers. And whenever she hears of something like, oh, I even need somebody who can manage my social media.
How did you and Nana Banamwa meet? Like how?
Big shout outs to these two guys, Kali J and Asidu Menz. Big shout outs to the two of them because I started off creating a page for Nanabe's then YouTube page. She had a YouTube channel that she was starting, and I didn't know her, but these guys did because that time they were doing some donation for some child be like that. That story, if you're on Twitter, I don't want to get into it, but they had a chance to get closer to Nanaba personally. Then I was using that social media to promote and stuff. And she said, who handles this page? And they told me I'm the one. She was like, she wants to meet me. We met. She saw me. We spoke. She was like, she likes what I'm doing for her brand. She appreciates, blah, 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 blah. I took a number. We spoke. Then she realized that it's something that I do, and I'm good at it. So from there, she found a way to bring me on board at GH1 TV. And from that, even when I was working there, she would just go and meet some of these people.
Which year?
My timelines are not really great, but like around 2022.
I know I think you tweeted that you used to do 3 jobs.
Yes, I used
back in 2021 from 21 to 23.
That side, I was doing like 4 or 5 jobs at the same time.
Wow.
Some were office, some were online.
Were they all related to digital marketing?
They were all digital marketing. Oh. There was none that was beyond digital. Social media management, digital marketing, all like those two jumped together. So she would go and meet people when they speak about social media management, they're like, oh, Don, he's good. Don. She's even the one who introduced me to Sewa, who has been a very integral part of my journey as well. She also did the same. Like she would put me on, she would speak about me in places that I'm not, and all of that. So I was getting those things here and there, like one, this person wants you to do this. And those monies were all put together and it was helping me because I'm the firstborn son in my family. So I try and put my side, like my portion of the bread on the table. So that helped me out. And that's how my journey started. Got into Sark, Nanaba, Sewa. Then from there, I realized that I was doing some digital marketing. I was also very interested in the music. Yes. Then I started getting into the, how do you call it? The technical bits of music. It's not just listening to music, but how does the music come out? Who puts the music on the digital streaming platforms? And I realized that they are called music distributors. So Ditto Music. I was like, okay. They signed Sark and stuff. Then I started promoting Sark and promoting Dito. And they didn't understand why I was promoting them. They were like, So then
you weren't being paid to do
No. I wasn't paid.
Okay.
I did. It was just because Sark was signed to the. So it wasn't really signed, but he was using them as as a channel to release his music.
Was it just because of the fact that they were like releasing Sarkcess things, or you actually were doing that because like you wanted them to notice you?
No. I wasn't doing that.
Something.
I've never during that time. I wasn't doing anything to be noticed by anybody. I was just doing because I was supporting Sark, and I want people to know that like he's a very top artist, and they didn't make a bad choice by working with him. So that was it. That was basically it. And it wasn't only me, myself, Quabs, at Quabs. So from there we were doing all the stuff, and the people reached out. They were like, they were coming to Ghana. They were going to have a conference. Sark was going to come. I was like, okay. So we want you guys to speak to artists for us because we don't know how the market looks like. Mind you, when they were saying all these things, we didn't talk about money. That day, I remember this thing. I'll never forget. I had to borrow money from my mom. It was at Alias
our mothers are suffering.
Yes.
Any little
the way she was talking that day.
Any little emergency.
Because I didn't have a job and I didn't have money, so she had to borrow me the money to pick the car, go there, blah blah blah. It was for 2 days. Then I went to meet the owner. The owner was speaking with us. He's a white man, Lee Parsons, like very solid guy. He was like, "Oh, we want you to speak to the artist for us." I was like, "Okay, no problem." Then we started speaking with the artists, and they didn't plan on like getting artists to sign to D2 at that point. They were like just sending the word out. We spoke to them to the point where a lot of them wanted to sign, and I got there before I got to know a lot of things about D2. They gave me a brochure or a flyer or something like that. And I had to read. They were like, okay, keep 100% of your royalties. $9 for 1 year subscription. All the DSPs. So I was chewing them. I still remember how the pamphlet looks like.
So that was like a learning process for you.
Because that time he was like, oh, we should just speak to the artist. I was like, I don't know how to do that. I need to get something that I can stand in. They gave me the flyer. They gave me the t-shirt. I wore the t-shirt. I've lost the picture I took with him. I was very skinny and having some big afro like that. So I was looking at the thing. I was shooting the thing. Because at that time, Quabs was behind the laptop trying to sign the artist. So when I speak to the artist, oh, Charlie, then sign me up. This will be my mail. We signed close to like 20 or 30 artists that day.
Wow.
And the man didn't understand how that thing worked. He was like, are you serious? Let me see the list, because we created the list, their name, their emails, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, this is amazing. Like, you guys are good. Long story short, that was in December. He came to Rapaholic. We had a chance to even talk better. God bless Quabs. God bless Kwabena Radio Ata for a move like this, because he took their number, was chatting with them, conversating with them. And the man, long story short, gave us a job opportunity to work with Dito Music, and it has been amazing. It has been a learning curve and a lot of things that involves like me right now, because I got to know what email etiquettes are, the corporate side of work, a lot of things, meetings, timelines, what you need to do at what time. Some of these platforms that I've never seen in my life, I was working with it seamlessly. And big shouts to Lee Parsons as well. God bless you for coming down to Ghana to put boys like us on. It's been great. God bless you for that.
From everything you are saying right now,
you
were doing digital marketing even without the degree.
I wasn't having a digital marketing degree,
but you were in the space, you were doing it.
Yes.
You didn't even know that there is digital marketing at that time.
I didn't. At that time,
you were just working as...
Yes, I was working hard. That's the thing. I was doing everything. I wanted to learn everything that concerns me, like anything I'm interested in. I want to delve into it. It was at some point, that is when I realized that, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing. Then I need to pursue this course. I need to do this course. I need to get this certification. That is when I started doing it. And that helped me at the latter parts of, I think, last 2 years. That's when I started like being serious with professional courses. Because I'm good at marketing too. When I was in school, I've never had a B in marketing. Never.
That's right.
Yes. And I didn't take Marjorie and cohort to say, oh, then that means I have to go into marketing or some, not like marketing or sales. So like the digital side of it. And I know what people look out for when you are giving them a product. Be it physical or
I
online.
hope you are learning something. Subscribe. Yeah, subscribe and then get more educative shows like this.
So yeah, it was like that. I didn't marketing. I was good at it. We were A minus, A minus. Okay. But I was also good in math, and I loved maths. So I was more focused on the math side of myself, like financial accounting, auditing, financial accounting one, a lot of taxation, like I was learning. That was in school. And when I was done, I wanted to really I wanted to get a job, like at a company that can help me in my accounting career. But I tried. I'm I tried twice. It didn't work. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to find something else to do. I'll come back to it. Let it be on the side. That's when I fell in love with social media. Then, long story short, the funny bit is I'm now in a financial institution.
I watched one digital marketer. Some people call him the godfather of digital marketing. His name is Seth something.
Where does he?
He's a white man.
Okay.
I was watching a TikTok. He was like, he made the realization that to succeed as a digital marketer, you have to put something that's remarkable out there. Remarkable in the sense that something that is worth having remarks from people. So I want to know from you, like, have you also made that realization? And if you have made that realization, when and then how did you make that realization that in order for you to succeed as a digital marketer that you are right now, you need to, put out like something like remarkable.
Amazing. Okay, so the remarkable bit of digital marketing is in a lot of senses. As you as a person, as a digital marketer, you have to choose. So wherever I found myself, I've realized that they were more concerned. Some were very more concerned about numbers. How many numbers you are able to make and how visible you can make their brand. And bro, everywhere I found myself, like at least most places. When Dito came to Ghana, they were only affiliated to SAC. Now, when I see an upcoming artist distribute music, it's because like they just use Dito easily like that. Quick. Because at that time when we were working behind the scenes and distributing other artists, I was posting on my pages every day, every time that distribute with this Dito music, distribute with this, distribute. I was just saying it to a lot of artists were moving to me like, oh, please promote myself. Like, oh, which distro do you use? Oh, this. I was like, oh no, try Dito. Yeah. And I was doing that. That was like some part of digital marketing that I was doing, and it was working. So it gave Dito some sort of visibility and numbers as well. When you come to the current place I'm in, well, where I'm at right now, only Basic Bank, they were at some level of visibility, but when I came in, it's upgraded. The numbers has increased, nearly doubled the followers that they have when I came in, before I came in now.
What did you do to like make that happen?
That, digital marketing is basically content. What you do for the followers to be interested, to stay on. Because when I was at GH1, the CEO there, Mr. Santok, he told me that your competition is in the other TV stations. Because we were working at TV, TV, and I was on social media, but he was like, your competition isn't the other TV stations you see. Your competition is this guy here. It's this phone. Because when you open your phone, you go on TikTok, you scroll, see GH1 TV, posted something that is not really interesting. You scroll, you see TV3. Okay, they posted something. Oh, nice. You go on their page, you go and check more. So now, after TV3, another person comes, which is not TV. Probably an artist. The next thing is a videographer.
Yes.
The next one is a fashion person. So now it's the phone that is dictating what content that needs to be consumed. So you need to find a way to make sure that the person who is scrolling has your brand in their mind. It's stuck there that, say news be breaking news via a GH1 TV na mako show. Do you understand?
Yeah.
When it comes to YouTube, it has to be this guy who is interviewing influencers and all of that. Now, even me, Twitter, when I go on Twitter, even though we have a trend list, when I see some people post certain things, that is when me get to say it's correct.
Okay.
There are some people I'll not take it seriously. That's how it works. And he told me that it was like, your competition is the phone, not the other people you are seeing around. So it can be numbers wise or visibility wise. If you have the two, amen. If you have one, you can build on one and move to the other. Mostly the visibility comes before the numbers. Yes. So all I can say is I don't want to say too much of the specifics, but with the companies I've worked with, I've been able to give them both these two. Because aside GH1, I used to work at a real estate company at Jowolu Junction, L-Beam company. They had like 8 companies under that belt. And I was the one managing all their social media. They had restaurants. Let me see what if I remember. They had Early Bird. They had Eliza's Restaurant. They had Eliza's Express 3. They have M&E, which is meeting and events. They have EB Home Superstore. That's 5. They have Cafe Banwa. They have Casablanche. How am I remembering everything? They have L-Beam Living. They have L-Beam Real Estate. They have L-Beam Development. 10.
Wow.
And I was managing all their socials: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. If possible, I think TikTok. Managing all of them. So yeah.
Right now, which brands are you working? I know you are working with is it Opulous?
Yeah, Opulous.
Accru,
I'm an ambassador
Accru.
for them. Yeah, I'm an
Accru,
influencer for Accru. Yeah.
You are an influencer for Accru and an ambassador for Opulous.
Yes.
What's the difference between those two?
Okay, so Accru is basically a cross-border payment platform. Yeah, so you can send money.
Cross-border payment platform.
That means you can send money from where you sit to a Nigerian without using a Nigerian payment mode. Like, you know the way we have MTN Momo in Ghana. Maybe we call US MTN Momo in here.
Yeah.
But this financial tools help you to send money from one person to another. So that's what Accru, aside that, does a lot of things like savings, like creating virtual cards, a lot of things.
So what's your role there?
I'm an influencer for them.
As in, you are an influencer. So what's your role as an influencer for Accru?
Okay, so my role is to give them visibility.
Okay.
Yes, and make people interested in sending like money, be interested in the app. Because what happened was I wanted to find a way to save money and not be able to take the money. Because emergency.
Yeah.
But I was doing my research and I realized that this app, they have this service on the app where it's called Accru Vault, where the money will cry from. That's the thing. I keep saying it to people I call and they laugh about it. I'm like, I'm gonna meet you. Who cry from? I just said time, no. If it's 6 months and you put after that 6 months, that's when those people they will give the money to you. But before, if it's even one day, you are shit to see from.
That's actually a very nice.
Yes. Yeah. So I was like, nah, I want to save with these people. Then I reached out to them. That time I had like 20K, 30K followers. I texted them. I told them that I want to influence for them. I have like quite a number of followers, and they didn't see the genuine. I think they didn't see it. Now me call me way. So I was saving and I reached like I think $3,000 or say $5,000.
Oh,
and
How long did it take for you to reach that?
It was like a year.
That was by being a digital marketer.
Yeah. I was both working and influencing for brands.
How much do you earn in a year? Like,
I can't
roughly how much do you make
from where?
From digital marketing?
Digital marketing is broad though. If you want to say from digital marketing, that means I have to tell you the number of companies that I was working with at that time that was giving me that streams of income. But I've forgotten the payments for most of them. But I was able to the point is I was able to save myself because when you very necessary. Now watch cry. After that chilling, make sure says you are putting it down that you are saving, say in case of any emergency. So it wasn't even about emergency. I wanted to upgrade my life. I wanted to buy a car for one of my brothers to drive around town for me for a business stuff. And I was like, nah, I have to start saving for that course. So that was the app that helped me get that. So when I reached my mark, which is around 5,000, maybe a few amounts, so I posted it and it blew up. I had like 400K impressions on that post alone, that tweet. It wasn't a video of me speaking. It was just a screenshot of the amount. The platform
I saw that tweet.
Yes, it blew up. Then they reached out to me. They were like, Emmanuel, thank you very much for the post. I was like, oh, you're welcome. I love your app. Like, oh, we see that. Can we hop on a call? I was like, okay.
You actually know how to like market yourself for brands too.
Yeah, no, everything is I've been strategic all my life. That's the truth. I missed out some points because I didn't know that I have to act this way, to be honest. But the ones that I looked at, like, I'll get you, don't worry. I just take my mind off, do my stuff, and it finds a way to come to that point. I've influenced for Rhino before. I've influenced for Top Choco before. All these things were strategic. So I posted and they were like, okay, do you want to hop on a call? It's like, okay. We did a call. They asked me, how much will I charge? I told them. They didn't ask for a $1 reduction. They were like, okay, monthly, we'll give this amount of money too. It wasn't like, again, Aku, it wasn't like too stressful or something. And what I was doing, they were so happy with it. They were okay. I felt I could do more. Every time I said it, they are like, oh, you have I'm like, bro, I'm very interested in what I do. And I'm scared that I would endorse something that is not good enough and somebody will come and complain to me that I've done the app that you recommended to me. They have done this, they've done that. It's true. So when I find something that is good, I want to do it well.
Yeah.
And I think from there, it has been a good journey. I used to promote sad, and people started seeing the app. They would download, like, Don, I have this challenge. But then, who should I text? Then they'll text the page, they'll text me, I'll help them out. So it was a whole back and forth. And they appreciate me. I appreciate them too a lot. They are good people. I think the owners are both Nigerian and Ghanaian. One is in Ghana, one is in Nigeria. So they understand the cultures. Yeah.
So you being a brand ambassador for Opulous.
Yes.
Are you doing these same things that you are doing?
Exactly the same thing.
So why influencer here, ambassador here?
Okay, so there are some brands that don't term the people they choose to represent them as influencers.
Okay.
Opulous is one of them.
Oh, okay.
Opulous sees you as an ambassador because you believe in the journey. You are not here for a short period.
Yeah.
You are like an ambassador for the brand. You are speaking to people for the brand.
Part of us now.
You are part of us.
Like the way you are now part of Dreams and Feelings movement.
Yes, so I'm an ambassador for Dreams and Feelings.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah. So they, at that time, I think it was a very new project. It's like a crypto project. This music, MFT, they call it music fungible tokens, where they fund artists. Then they allow people to buy the project, like their fans, have percentages in the project. Every quarter, when these DSPs are paying the artists, they pay the people who invested in the thing as well. I know it's a little complicated for most of you, but that is how it was. So our job was to understand the artists, understand the music, understand the platform, and put it out there for people to educate people on how they can be interested. So we were doing stuff like that, and I was fortunate enough to be onboarded as an influencer, as an ambassador. Sorry, wrong term, ambassador. And we hopped on a call. They sent us through training. Then I think 2 years ago, when SAC dropped Championship, SAC was partnering with them. Yes, the mixtape. He partnered with them. We were able to buy some percentages of the project. Most of the squad on the time, some of them.
You said on the timeline sometime that your whole digital marketing journey started because of the fact that you are a Sarkcess fan.
It's fact.
And it's very true because from the conversation, it looks like Sarkcess has been
he doesn't know.
Very, he has been part of your whole personal brand and everything.
Whenever I tell him to, he just laughs about it and doesn't deep it back. Because if this guy knows how careful I was with following him, understanding his branding, and leveraging on the parts around him to survive. Because there are people that he'll be close with. I'll find a way to go and follow them, talk to them, have conversations with them. And like, okay, so... Because people see you as a fan and be like, okay, you are just a fan. They don't know what you are made of.
And you posted something like that.
Okay.
Like, how did I know mastering Filmora video editing when I was compiling Sarkcess performances for Sark Nation YouTube channel will be a vital skill I will need in my digital marketing journey today. Hey, and Bungo ideas came to comment.
Well, what was this?
I think 15th October 2024. And then Google Ideas came to comment. Looks like you wouldn't have been able to do anything for yourself if not for Sarkcess. You even owe your breath to him. And you're like, everyone needs someone to set them up who is willing to do that for you. Did you do that out of like did you do it in a way to come back at him?
No, send me that screenshot.
Send the screenshot.
Thank you. I don't remember tweeting that, but I think I wasn't. You see, the thing about Bongo too is he wants to say, and me no, I don't have that. I don't know how to. What you are trying to kill is already dead. This is the mental health, right? So when I say something, you think you can say something that will pay me, and
the
be
mental
like,
health is already dead.
It's dead. As a guy, I don't think you need to have a like guys. If you reach some certain point in life, you've seen enough for somebody to come and troll you, and you be there sad. No. Life is already shipping me. It's not going to come and type that will pay me. So I wasn't getting at him like me can be a mobi. And like I say, hey Don, you've gotten at him. Like, no, I was being real because who was willing to help that guy or set him up? Nobody was willing to help him up from the time that he was doing all those things. It's true.
Yeah, let's get back into
No, like it's one of the moments because I tweeted it genuinely because at the time I was, as I told you about Sark's performances. If you go and watch the starting of the video, I said that I used to put his performances together because I was managing his YouTube channel and I was editing. I'll know where to put logos, lower thirds, end frames, that kind of thing. And I was using Filmora. That time CapCut wasn't in existence, or it wasn't even popular. It was Filmora, and it was hard. Like I had this PC that when I on it run, it's more than a generator. I'm not a very, very good editor, but I can put something together to be presentable for you to watch. So that was what I was doing, and I built on it. Then from there, I went to some companies where they needed people who can both take videos. They don't have time for a video editor and stuff. And I realized that I could do the videoing, doing the editing, and doing the promoting and everything. So that is when I tweeted that. It was genuine. I tweeted something about Excel too. I don't know if you saw that, but when I was in school, I think in JHS, they used to beat us to these are just box things, and you're telling me to put what year and road. It's not but I had to learn it to pass my exam. But when I came to the corporate space, that is all they use for their stuff. So that is when I meet the thing that I used to think was not relevant. That is when I go and tweet. My life is just like a journey when it comes to my Twitter. I just post what I meet. So it wasn't like, again, back to the whole Sark thing. It started off from him. I'm not going to get anywhere and say something different from this. Every interview that I've had, it's been the same. It's not like Sarkcess is my God. Without him, I can't survive. Bro, you need to be wise wherever you find yourself. It's not about and as I said, Sark himself doesn't know that this is where he's there until I told him, like recently, say, oh, Mr. T is saying that because of saying. I said, really? And say, yeah, wow. I said, I'm crying one because like, how were you able to be intentional about some of these things to help yourself? So you as a person, whatever you chase, make sure that it benefits you. It's not just about you doing something and it's just quite unfortunate with this fanaticism thing, like you being a fan of an artist or a celebrity. Sometimes it might not go your way. And okay, I have a dual reason for that. If you're able to get a benefit, amen. But me following Sark, I follow him because he motivates me. It's first the music and what he's saying in his music that I like. So if it's helping me shape my mentality and it helps me shape my life choices and my journey, who will not pick that? That's you back. So that was what I meant.
So what do you think is one thing that makes brands trust you?
Me as a person?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm very careful with the brands I work with. If I will work with you, I will have to be a customer. I will be a user. Every brand I've worked with,
you actually try to be a part of the brand.
Yes, I have to be I don't know how to see, like, who approaching me as one brand approached me. I worked with them for a week or two. I returned their money back. And yes, a brand me a bad. I realized I didn't know a lot of things
about the brand.
So I told them that I need to go back and circle it back and understand everything before. They were surprised. They were like, no, I can keep the money when I'm ready. I was like, nah. I don't know how far this would take. So you just keep the money. I'll come back when I understand your brand. So if I don't understand your brand, if I'm not a user, if I'm not a fan, it will be hard for me. I'm not the one who is desperate to work with. I mean, money can shake a lot of things, but I just want to be very careful in the sense that I don't get into a bad deal where it will affect me personally and the brand I've built so far. So it's more like I want to understand you. When it does, then we work. So I feel some people have seen that. I don't know if the brands who have worked with me in the years saw that as a way. I'm sure it's also part. I mean, when they talk to me, they realize that I'm not just saying, oh, your brand is good. Oh yeah, it be solid. Oh yeah, it be nice. That's not the only thing I see. I go into detail of what I like about the brand. Oh, I saw this thing here. I think this can help. And I'm like, you are saying so much at the same time. That is what interests them. And brands, they are human beings like us. Okay, they are. And their level of thinking supersedes the regular, like, oh, just a regular stuff that we do. No, they want to see something that is exceptional.
My physics teacher will say, think outside the box.
Yes, this one is beyond the box. You have to think beyond what everybody is saying or seeing. And me, I don't like following what the crowd says. Do you understand? I want to make my choices based on my own experiences. So that is how come maybe some of the brands will see and be like, oh, this is a good fit for our brand. Yeah.
So, for someone who wants to start digital marketing, but then the person is starting from zero with zero connection, he doesn't know anybody in the space. What would you tell someone like that?
All I can say to that person is, Charlie, I also started from zero without knowing anybody. Believe me or not, the circle that I'm saying that helped me in this journey.
Do you think the time you started compared to this time, like which one would be like difficult to actually?
Back then was difficult. Now it's easy. Now if you're able to do one or two things and you chase some things, chances are that the connections will recognize you. Back then, I make us my journey started from SAC and so I do digital. I mean, SAC didn't teach me digital marketing, but it was the whole journey, you know. Before he could recognize me, there were lots of fans that he knew of head, and I wasn't part of them. I'm in clown crowd. He didn't know who I was. I had taken like pictures with SAC like 4 or 5 times, and he didn't know who I was. Do you understand? So what I can say to the young digital marketer, me too, I'm also very young in digital marketing. I don't know even 20% of digital marketing. I'm just saying because the space is very huge. Yeah. You can't know everything today. Exactly. You can't know everything in 5 years. You know it as time goes on. But as you are starting, you need to have a focus. Like you need to do a lot of research. You need to understand most of the things that you want to digitally market for. That is very key because if you don't understand what you're talking about, then that means what's the point of marketing for being a digital marketing for that brand? So you as a person, you need to invest in yourself. You need to educate yourself. You need to take a lot of professional courses. Trust me, when you know your stuff, it will be easier when you approach somebody and say, well, I can help you with this. Than you don't know anything. You say, oh, I've seen this person do it and I can do it too. Like in Kofor, and I said, come on, dear, interview there. So what's now who can want to and any pananka kasa.
Share.
It makes me somebody can share. I'm gonna to say maybe like easy. So let's say anything. Oh, tripod, mini phone, mini lights, camera, no. But it's beyond that. And that's when you know how difficult it is. Me speaking on camera this fluently today, bro, I start, but bro, my shaky action. And my shaky action. What brands you still are?
There are some people who want to do this digital marketing thing, but they don't want to show their faces. And then right now, I know that there are a lot of ways that you can do digital marketing without even bringing your face out there.
So the people who don't show their face, they show their work. If you don't want to show your face, show your work that you can do it. And if you show your work, the people who are the big people, the owners of the companies, the HRs, the plugs and all of that, they will employ you. And I don't think any company will want to put you out there that this is our digital marketer or no. They might not be interested in doing that, but you'll be working regardless. So I know people who are digital marketers and nobody know that they are digital marketers because of where they passed. Me, fortunately or unfortunately, then bro. It's unfortunately I can say please, before some of you go and cut and make fun of it. I'm just joking. So fortunately for me, I started off as like being an active social media person, becoming a social media influencer, and all of that. Internet. Say me could do baby. Somebody sees me and know that, oh, you work for this brand.
Yeah. Since that's your path, let's do digital marketing into brackets, social media content 101.
Okay.
What do someone need to enter that space, that part of digital marketing? Social media marketing or content marketing?
Okay. So content marketing is basically everything you're seeing now that you can make content with. So your tools, your laptop, your phone, you know the stuff. I don't want to be too specific about a lot of things, but the things that will make you create the content part of it. When you are done creating your content, which is a flyer, a motion, a video, even an audio, these things need to sit somewhere. They're sitting somewhere in social media or digital marketing channels or platforms. Those are the Facebooks and the blah, 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 and those stuff. When they are done sitting there, you need to find a way for people to be interested in the content, because the most painful thing is doing a very solid content and people don't even know that it exists. It's painful.
Very painful.
Very painful. You go all along, breaking your back, you edit. This guy will do the video, you edit. And then maybe all this some sharp way to yes. But when you hit that point where people appreciate it, it has to come from the point where you know, like, let's say, for example, the time you need to post on Twitter. I did a podcast interview with one guy. He's called Mr. Creative. And he had a host, a female. Even though this cloud that came after was sort of bad, Shatta saw it, like Shatta, while we were talking about something social music, and we were talking about Stoneboy and Shatta, and they say we should pick. And I picked Stoneboy, Stoneboy and stuff. And Shatta saw it and came to quote. The guy was posting the content just like that. But the time in the year, right at the point where, let's say, Shatta was active. This one day he didn't know. But that moment, he posted it and Shatta saw it and came to comments and I was like, blah, blah, blah. Came to text me, oh, bro, thank you. And I was like, thank me for what? I did my video and you knew the right time to post it. And what hashtag to use so that it can be visible to people. So content marketing in itself has to be your timing, the kind of content you are creating, what audience you want to reach out to, and how you need to get to them. And then what TikTok, for example, if you want to start something like, let's say, a podcast or like a product review, there's this guy, he's called Kali also. This guy started from Kalipi. That's why his name is Kali. It will be funny to you, but he realized that he has to be consistent with what he's doing. Yes. Because of the guy who did for Kivo. So he has to be consistent with what he's doing the sound, doing his face like that with the beats behind. And he was doing like 7 old videos now, and what's 5,000 views. I won't be brave. But he had to be consistent. Like, that's content marketing, like how to make sure that you are hitting the people that you want to get to. And he was consistent with that, and that's what hit him. As a digital marketer, you need to find a way to know the audience that you are trying to appeal to. Recently, there was this podcast of kids talking. And they were like kids, very eloquent kids. They are very fluent and stuff.
They're speaking nice English.
Good English and stuff. They were just being free. Look, beyond the mics and the cameras, those kids say more stuff than what they were saying there.
Yeah, yes. That's true.
Yes, but somebody was able to pick a part where people would relate to and post it.
Okay.
I was always very careful because sometimes it can go the good way, sometimes it can go the bad way.
Okay, what do you... Okay, continue.
But for somebody who wants the numbers and the numbers and the visibility, will be a home care. Me right now as a person, I used to not care about the bad and good because there are a lot of things I would post about Sark. Then, like, Nkofobeka said, no, you shouldn't be posting about this because I'm not like, I don't care. But now, there are a lot of things I'll not waste my time posting about him or even my personal self or the job that I'm doing.
Yeah.
A lot of things like that. So, obi or visibility, no, obi so some specific targeted visibility open. So all those things are a part of it. The tools, the platforms, the softwares, and again, the platforms and how to understand it. Because what will sit on Facebook that will do well, it can come and sit on IG and it will not do well.
Yeah, that's
and you can have, let's say, 5,000 across followers on all of them. 5,000 on Facebook, 5,000 Instagram, 5,000 TikTok, 5,000 Twitter. You post the same thing everywhere. Not Twitter, you have 2 retweets. Mark of Facebook, 15 likes. Instagram, 700 likes. So you have to understand the platform and know what works, how to match the captioning, what hashtags to use, the time. Like, if you use some of these tools and you look at the back end, you realize that, so me post it a Monday and at that time, people are not on their phones. They are rushing to work. So they are not going to look at it.
Yeah.
But I'll posting the 12, 1, 2. They are done with Monday stress work. They are probably eating. They are relaxing. They are on break. They will be on their phones and they might see it. And you will see the difference. So it's all part of the marketing and knowing when to push what. So yeah.
What are some common mistakes that you think beginners make in the content influencing or the marketing space?
I don't really see most of these things as mistakes. So I see it as a learning curve.
Okay.
Yeah, because what you think is bad now will be good at some point.
So basically, there is no mistake in digital marketing.
What I can say is, one thing that I feel is not good with digital marketing, when you're a digital marketer or social media manager, is you don't flood too much content on the users.
Okay.
Yes. So
elaborate down.
Like too much content, as in you are posting like 10 times a day. Yeah. And or let's say all of them are good. They are not just basic content. They are all good. Who post it. They are just going to pick 2 out of the 8.
Okay.
Probably. So you don't flood too much. You put some, like it should be timely. Like let's say you draw. That's why content planning is good. You plan Monday, motivation. Then you maybe promotion. Tuesday, education. Hey, I'm letting out a lot of info. Sorry, because the American is a content plan for a company.
Okay.
But okay, you will not know. But maybe Wednesday, when we say midweek in Kofua, relax kakra. Now the entertainment content kakrabim. Then Thursday you go back to promotion. Friday, then so bia entertainment. Then something like that. When you put it together like that, it makes people anticipate what is coming next on the page. And yes, what post be bamboo, like you jam the whole place, you post everything, and you just be flooding. You end up going on someone's page, you see the person has like 300 followers and the posts are like 3,000. Hey, when I see that, the way it scares me, if it was my page, I'll go and archive more than 2,700 because it makes it makes whoever comes to the page be like, there are a lot of things happening here. I don't want to watch. But if there are specific ones, there are timely ones, you put like, okay. Like 100 posts. Okay, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 10. I like this one. I've saved this one. Okay, let me download this one. Let me put this one. But 3,000. I'm not going to watch your 3,000 posts and check out most of them.
I want you to wrap this one. I want us to talk about motivation, the burnout, the fear, all in one, all the emotions that come with digital marketing. When you make posts and then the posts are not going. When you create content and the contents are not going. All those things that come along the way. Like how do you manage to still stay consistent? Because consistency and one other thing is trying different things. I think those things are very essential when it comes to digital marketing. So how do you still stay consistent?
The consistency in the is a path I chose. I'm not going to give up on it. So that's motivation enough for me because I'm looking forward to what's happening next. Okay, this happened today. I had to leave 15 likes. The next day I post 600 likes, 700 likes. Recently, I made a post on one of the pages that I'm managing. And I thought I made a mistake and promoted it. Yeah, because I was like, So I went to the ads. I was like, I'm promote here. So how come then I was like, I started affirming some of the things I used to say. I'm like, Facebook for mope, if I say picturing like pictures, human beings behind the thing. They like a pan. I was like, because that post had like 50,000 impressions on Facebook. I was like, where is this all coming from? So I look out and I look up for stuff like that. That's motivation. The burnouts, sometimes you'll be demotivated from the interaction that you didn't get. It's very frustrating when you do solid content, as a marketer, like this is good, then that one doesn't get. This one isn't good, then sometimes that one right I will get. Obi any preference. Oh, the office say fried rice na your den. Obi so need your pen binku. That is their own. So the burnout side will be that maybe it's not really going well. Your numbers are not reaching well as you want or as you plan. Maybe you have a target at the end of mid-year or at the end of the year to reach this amount of impressions or followers, and you're not getting there. That one will be questioning you, like, you gave a promise. You said you are going to get us 10,000 followers. You are nowhere close to that point. What is wrong? Hey, those things can be very frustrating and stuff. So you said motivation, burnout, and what? Fear. No, I mean, as a guy there, you're not supposed to be scared of anything like that too. Yeah, so I'm really not scared about anything when it comes to digital marketing. No,
sometimes don't you get scared? Maybe they are going to terminate my contract. This thing is not going like the way they wanted it to go.
I've never had that fear before. Not because I'm confident I'll be there. It can happen.
Okay. So you've like embraced it. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Okay. One, God is on my side, so it won't. Okay. And if it does, I feel God has a plan. Okay. And I'm not going to sit there and worry about something that is yet to happen.
Okay.
Of which I don't know if it will happen or not. I'm not going to do that. I don't know if it will happen or not, and I'm worried. My mom will tell you that I used to tease her when we were like, I was with her. She'll worry about a lot of things. I just say, "Mom, say we never solve a problem, and you never better now bonten." I say, "No problem, not solving. It will not do nothing to nothing." And sometimes what you are even scared of is not what is happening. Sometimes you are just overreacting, you are just anxious. You are just scared that this will happen. It's not that. That's not the case. So terminating my contract there, if it's unfortunate that maybe I'm not living up to what you expect as a brand or an employer, and you want to terminate my contract, I'm sorry, but I wish I can do better. That's what I would say to myself. I wish I can do better so that you can keep me. But if you have to dispose of me, that's fine too. I just wish, because every brand I've worked for, I just want them to be at a better place, even after I've left.
Has there been a time that your contract was terminated before?
No.
Oh, okay.
All the places I used to work with, I had to leave. Like I had to be like, oh, I've resigned, I'm moving on to another sector and stuff. But I've never been terminated.
So you as a person, as Emmanuel, Don Sarkcess, Emmanuel, what keeps you going?
God first. My mom, because she's a very solid part in my life, and a part too as well. She prays for me. These days she complains a lot that I don't pray, but I try as a young guy. So aside that, looking up for the next chapter. So sometimes I would be like, when I'm very a little worried about certain things, a breakthrough happens. Because in the past 6 years, every 2 years, something extraordinary happens in my life. Every 2 years, since 2020. So 2020, 2022, 2024. So 2020, I got the chance to work with Dito. 22, I was able to get 3 companies I was working with. 2024, I worked with the bank. So I've realized that we are in 25.
It has always been up.
It has always, we are saying this, we will come back to 2026. You get me? Trust me, every 2 years, it's like a contract renewal between me and God. He puts me on a level from where I used to be. It's not even about job, but
that's actually a good thing. They're keeping tracks of it. Every 2 years, you know that. So even if the next 2 years, the things are not going on well, you are going to push yourself and then get something.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's actually a very good
It's true. So every, between this year and next year, I know I have to do something different that I wasn't doing last year.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm already on the path of doing that. And before we do that, so that's what keeps me going. The next chapter is awaiting.
So where do you see yourself now? In the future, do you see yourself building a firm or evolving in the content creation and all of that?
Do you know what my biggest dream is? Whenever I post about myself, my digital stuff, and where I work, people always Don, I want to be like you. I'm like, it's weird for people to say they want to be like me because I don't see myself at a point where people want to be like me. But if they want that, that's fine. I want to help people to be like what they see in me. And that involves creating a space where people want to learn and like gather some skills and all of that. So if God permits, inshallah, if God permits, I want to create a platform where people would learn some of these digital skills. It's not just about only digital marketing. There are very different points of this part of the content side now. People who are doing
There was a
crazy
time that
stuff.
you hosted some, was it a space? You did some program to talk about your digital marketing journey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People were pushing me to do that. I had to.
So, like, is that the inspiration?
Yes, it started off from there, but I wanted people to understand the holistic idea of what my journey was like and what digital marketing is. And I would have to sit some people down to explain what I've learned, because I didn't. Some of them are in your book. It probably isn't online. Sometimes you have to go into the space or the industry to learn. So I was in the hospitality industry, I was in the real estate industry, I was in the entertainment news industry, I was in the music industry. Now I'm in the banking industry. All are different. Digital marketing is different in all these sectors. It might look the same, but the nitty-gritties are different. How it's wired is different.
You have to be in the sector before
you understand.
It's just like engineering. It can be a civil engineer in a construction company. Someone to be a civil engineer in a mining company. So they are all doing different things, but they are all civil engineers.
Exactly like that. So I would have to probably see somebody in the banking space to give a very technical advice to the person about digital marketing for the person to get it. But if I go and sit someone down who has not gotten into anything banking, it's like, now, okay, allow me to use this opportunity, because when I was young, being a banker means bank manager, tie, suit, bag, work of bank. I didn't know anything beyond that. I didn't know that there's a part that they call the customer service officers. There are some part, they are marketers. We have tellers. We have compliance officers. We have digital marketers. We have communication people. We have PR. Like a DOS, we have treasurers. Like a DOS. So if you think banking is about the people who take cash and wait for when you want to take it and they give it to you, you are wrong. It's like 0.00001% of that. There are a lot of things in this industry that if I didn't get into it, I wouldn't have known. And only the people who are in there know, or they telling, like I'm telling you now, telling people that they know. So it's a lot. Like, who Raymond, who the way the work is like, or how the industry is wired. And you can't change anything about it. There hasn't been anybody who wants to change anything. You just add on to it. Like, oh, I feel this can help this. Then you bring it, then define a sector for it, then it works. Because before, I don't think banking really leveraged on digital marketing. Me, when I was young, I didn't know any bank that was following on social media. I don't know until Sark signed with SE Mobile. And when they were marketing and blah, 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 I created an account with them. That's when I was interested in following some bank and what they are posting. Okay, they have this product. There's a marketing woman in the flyer. They're saying they are providing funds for SMEs. Okay, loans. Okay, all right. Overdraft, credit card, debit card, mobile app. So now you are seeing a lot of things that is in the banking sector because of and they had to come by that. I think because I've not followed them, followed bankers, banking pages for
a long time.
Yes, but from a long time ago, it wasn't that deep like it is now. Somebody had to pitch it to them, like, oh, you need this kind of person. You need a digital marketer who can oversee your website, your social media, your SEO, your marketing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay, it's true. And now all the kids are on social media now. The young guys, the Gen Zs. Okay, let's go into that. Then you go into that and you realize that the person that you employed understands the space. Like, oh, okay, so this week I want us to do this kind of content because I've seen this trend on TikTok. And when I did something with Omni Basic Bank. When this song was trending, Choalabam, I got staff to dance with our Visa card. They were dancing and they were showing the card. So when you are seeing them enjoying the dance, you are watching the product they are looking at. And at the out frame, I said, oh, open an account with Opening Basic Bank and get an instant virtual card. So I've sold the product to you as you are even enjoying the video. So it would take somebody who understands the space, the content space, to merge all that together and sell the bank to people, to regular people. Yeah. So that's it.
Thank you very much for sharing your journey and then for teaching us a lot. Because me personally, I've learned a lot today, and I
Thank
still
God
have
for
a
that.
lot to learn.
Sure.
And I know that my audience are people listening to us and watching us have also learned something today. Let's do this one real quick. Let's talk about music real quick.
Okay, sure.
So currently, who do you think is like the top artist in Ghana right now? Since you like music,
Like top artists as in what?
as in when it comes to like the music scene in Ghana, who would you
The music
say
scene.
this like aside the three big men?
Even if you had them, I'll have the right answer.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel people want to put the three aside because, for example, I'm a Sark fan. So you just put Sark aside and talk about this. No. Right now, the person who is riding the wave is Black Sheriff.
Blacko. Coco Killer.
So that's yes. So he's riding the wave. Aside him, we have someone like Kweku Smoke, who's also riding hard. Jackie. Jackie too is doing well when it comes to the female side. And Wendy Shea. I saw Wendy Shea's numbers on YouTube recently. I was like, why is nobody talking about her a lot these days?
She's dropping some nice
songs, doing some very cool collabs, doing performances. But hey, what's his name too? Kiddy. Last Minute too.
Olive the Boys.
All those guys, they are
my boy Badex Patois. Do you know Badex Patois?
Who is that?
Badex Patois is an upcoming act.
Okay.
He's I have done one episode with him. The first episode I released.
Okay.
Yeah, check him out. And I have one other guy, Big Money. Big Money does hip hop. Big Money, BIGMONEY.
I've heard Big Money, Badex Patois. I'll check them out. Sure. So those are the guys doing well in the music industry.
Once again, thank you very much for coming here. I really appreciate you.
Thank you too for having me.
Yeah. Dreamers, this is what we do here. This is Dreams and Feelings podcast. We make sure that every dream that you have, we are going to inspire you to chase it and chase it properly, chase it well. When I say inspiring dreams, then you say embracing emotions.
Okay.
Inspiring dreams.
Embracing emotions.
Thank you.